Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a really crucial moment, South Africa. It's 30 years since the democratic transition, which is incredible.
Absolutely, a huge milestone.
But, despite moving beyond apartheid, the country's still facing some, well, really stubborn challenges.
That's right. You see things like unemployment. It's just persistently high.
What are the numbers like now? About 32%.
Around there, yeah. And for young people, it's even worse.
That's staggering. And it's not just jobs, is it?
No, not at all. You've got deepening poverty, really widespread inequality, and then these critical failures in just basic services.
Like electricity. We hear a lot about that.
Exactly. Unreliable power, but also things like adequate housing. It's hitting people hard.
And you can feel it, right? There's this real public trust deficit. People seem kind of weary.
Definitely. A lot of fatigue, especially with what people call the talk shop approach from the current government of national unity.
Okay, so that's the backdrop. But what's happening now? What's the response?
Well, what's really compelling, I think, is President Ramaphosa's initiative. He's launched this comprehensive national dialogue.
A national dialogue, what does that actually mean?
It's a pretty big undertaking, not just a quick chat. It's designed as this multi-stage effort.
Okay.
The goals are ambitious: rebuild national unity, forge a completely new social compact.
Oh, social compact, like a new agreement between people and the state.
Essentially, yes. A renewed agreement on shared values, responsibilities, how things should work, and ultimately charting South Africa's path for the next, 3 decades.
Oh.
So our deep dive today is really exploring this whole process, looking at the roadmap, the inherent complexities with the Government of National Unity.
Like the GNU.
And also how specific player, the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Sustainable Development, aims to be a partner in making this dialogue, well, truly inclusive and effective.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because, it sounds incredibly ambitious almost.
Okay.
Idealistic, especially given that trust deficit you mentioned.
It is ambitious, hugely so.
How do you stop it becoming just another talk shop that people are already tired of? The scale alone seems almost insurmountable.
That is absolutely the core challenge. It's not just supposed to be a policy exercise, right? It's framed as this national undertaking to redefine the social contract.
Okay.
But the key hurdle for any big national conversation like this is genuine inclusivity, getting widespread participation.
Especially with the politics involved.
Exactly. And that's particularly true given the complexities within the GNU itself.
Because it brings together different parties, potentially opposing one.
Precisely. A government of national unity, by definition, has diverse, sometimes conflicting factions. Trying to align them on something this big,
It's tough.
it creates friction. Each party has its own base, its own agenda. We've actually already seen some of this, haven't we?
The DA pulling out.
Yeah. The Democratic Alliance withdrew from the dialogue, citing concerns about whether it was genuine engagement. So that friction just highlights how vital it is to build real consensus, something that goes beyond party lines, if this whole thing is going to gain trust and actually get somewhere.
It sounds like a massive effort, a truly Herculean one. But you mentioned the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Sustainable Development. That's where it gets interesting, right?
Yes.
Technology.
Yes.
How can tech, specifically AI, actually step in here? Not just to, schedule meetings, but to genuinely amplify this national healing process.
Okay, so that's where the center comes in, and they're proposing some pretty concrete remedies using AI.
Like what?
Well, first, imagine breaking down language barriers. South Africa has 11 official languages, plus others widely spoken. AI can offer real-time translation.
Okay, like see in the EU maybe.
Similar idea. But the real insight here for South Africa isn't just understanding, it's about unlocking perspectives from communities who've been sort of isolated by language before.
Ah, so bringing in voices that maybe weren't heard clearly in national debates previously?
Exactly. Getting entirely new, valuable data points into the discussion that might have been missed for decades simply because of language divides. That's potentially huge.
Okay, that's powerful.
What else? Bridging literacy gaps. Think about someone in a rural area, maybe with limited formal schooling.
Right.
They could potentially just speak into a basic phone in their own language, ask about a complex policy.
And get an answer they understand.
Yes, and then give their own feedback verbally. Conversational AI, accessible even through low-tech things like SMS or basic voice calls, could enable that.
Wow, okay, so it's not just language, it's literally making complex policy discussions accessible, regardless of literacy or location. That really changes the game for inclusivity, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And then there's amplifying underrepresented voices. AI can use techniques like sentiment analysis, topic modeling.
What does that mean in practice?
It means going beyond just counting keywords and feedback. It's about understanding the mood, the underlying concerns, the subtle patterns, sometimes called weak signals, from massive amounts of text or voice data.
So it could pick up on things human analysts might miss.
Potentially, yes, especially when you're dealing with, say, millions of submissions. It could help identify crucial perspectives from marginalized groups, youth, women, people with disabilities, rural communities that might otherwise get lost in the noise.
And accessibility for people with disabilities, too.
Definitely. Integrating things like AI-powered text-to-speech and speech-to-text. And crucially, providing unbiased data analysis.
Unbiased how?
By processing vast amounts of raw, anonymized input at scale to identify, sort of, emergent national consensus on key issues rather than relying solely on, say, curated summaries or potentially filtered public meetings.
So moving beyond the usual political arguments.
Hopefully helping discussions move beyond that entrenched partisan rhetoric, yeah.
Yeah.
Allowing leaders to maybe see common ground that's otherwise obscured by political noise.
So how does all this tech intervention translate into actual impact on the ground?
Well, the idea is that by injecting data, transparency, and this relentless focus on the actual unfiltered voice of the South African people,
AI could help shift the whole perception, moving the national dialogue away from being seen as just another talk shop.
towards becoming an action catalyst.
Exactly, something that genuinely drives change because it's grounded in what people are actually saying and feeling across the board. And that really, it leads us to consider a pretty powerful question.
Indeed. You know, in a world that's grappling with so much information overload, so much political polarization, what does it truly mean for a nation to actually hear and integrate the voice of every citizen in shaping its future, especially when you bring innovative technology like AI to the table?